Here's a photo that I've edited with iPhoto. And down the bottom here, you can see that I've edited it by cropping it, by changing the exposure, changing the colors. I've used this brush here, I've used that brush, and I've used the soften brush. I'm going to set that photo back to its original state. So there you can see the things that I've changed. I'll just undo that and you'll see them again. And there it is. So it's quite a marked change. So let's go back over all of those changes and we'll see how I was able to do them. So I've erased all those strokes. Let's reset the color back the way it was. Now I'm going to reset the exposure and I'm going to reset the crop. So let's go through all those. Remember, we've got this protractor at the bottom that I can use to straighten up my photo. So first of all, it was not taken straight. Then I wanted to increase the exposure slightly. Bring up some of those dark areas by pulling this one up. Play with the color. We can bring up the sky a little bit more. And we can increase the saturation, bringing up the pinks on those flowers. Now we can start to play with these brushes. So for example, the lighten brush I can use in this area down the bottom left hand corner where it's slightly darker, and I can just paint my finger over it and you can see it gradually lightening up as I paint over it. I'm going to reset those because what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a look at some of the settings on here. So how much lighter do I want to make it? Let's set that down a bit lower and we'll see if that makes a difference. So now as I move my finger over, it's making a very small difference to that area. It's almost hard to see. So going over that pot plant there, going in those shadows a bit more, just bringing out a little bit of the color that's in those shadows, just lightening them up a little bit. If I increase that fully, you can see what a difference it is. So how much lighter do I want to make it? You can actually play with it after you've done it and adjust the lightness. If I lighten the entire image, it goes right across the whole thing. So let's go back to this one here, which is the red eye. Don't want to do any red eye, but I would like to do the repair. I'm just going to zoom in. Now in order to move your picture around, you have to put two fingers and then move it around. There's a little thing here hanging on the wall. It's the catch to hold back the door. I'm going to use my repair and I'm going to paint over that area, just putting my finger down, and you can see I've removed it completely. Two fingers again, we can slide our view across. There's a little thing here, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I don't want to see it, so get rid of that. Pinch together to zoom out, zoom in, and you can see there's another bit over there I want to get rid of, and another bit there. Now unfortunately the last one, not very well done. Let's just do that bit, that's better. So let's zoom out, we can see the whole thing. Now I've just tried to move the page and I've just dragged my finger right across that area, so I just have to be careful. Let's zoom in, two fingers to pan, and there's a electrical wire running across the ceiling, so I'm just going to touch that and get rid of those parts. Pinch back out again, and here we are back pretty close to my original changed photograph. If you want to soften any areas, you can use this to soften. So we can paint in areas and it softens those areas up. So you might want to soften the edges. I don't really want to soften those, but that's what you would do if you wanted to soften. So there's my image, and I've used the repair, didn't use the red eye. I could saturate. So just moving my finger around, saturating some parts but not others. Just touching some of those areas to bring out some of the leaves and some of the colours. Just giving those a little bit of a lift. If I want to reduce the colour in some areas, I can desaturate. So there it is. I keep rubbing my finger across that area and it takes away the colour. This tool is for darkening. So if I want to, I can pick an area and I can darken it. Like that area up there. Just brought my finger across that. Let's just have a look at our settings so we can play with the darkening. Now the darkening controller is separate from the lightening one. This one is for sharpening an area and this one is for softening an area.